let me make it very clear and to state so officially in front of this committee that waterboarding has been used on only 3 detainees. It was used on Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, it was used on Abu Zubaydah, and it was used on...
We're going to take a look at the legal side of this with Susan Sullivan. She's a professor of law and politics at Temple University in Philadelphia. Professor, great to have you on the program. Just talk us through what the arguments are in this case, especially from the U.S. government, as to why these 2 contractors should not testify, and what is the state secrets privilege that is being spoken about in this case?
Hello. Well, the state secret privilege is a privilege established 1953 by the same court that is going to be looking at it now. And that essentially says, look, there are things that are so important and that would be so damaging to the country and to the government's activities if they were made public, that the government has a privilege not to reveal that. So that's the state secret privilege. The argument here is that there is so much information out there that Mitchell has already written a book about these issues, and that these issues are significant and critical to the lawsuit that they are pursuing against the Polish government. So it's a matter right now of the US Supreme Court not deciding whether or not these documents contain secrets, but deciding whether or not the government is required to turn them over. And typically now, testimony, it's very difficult to order testimony, especially if that is involved with an international proceeding, because getting people there is a fight in and of itself. So even if they are required to testify, actually getting them over there is going to be another battle that would probably end up at the same court.
It all does seem a bit complicated at this stage, especially for those of us who are not quite, understanding everything that happens in the US with regards to the laws regarding terrorism and state secrets privilege. But this also, I would think, calls into question Guantanamo Bay, the holding of prisoners there, the fact that Abu Zubaydah is still being held there, and the US has admitted that he was not involved in 9/11.
Yes, it is complicated, but I think that what it comes down to is that Americans generally would find this kind of conduct abhorrent, holding people without a trial, 20 years particularly, waterboarding, torturing people. This is not, this is abhorrent behavior. This is horrific behavior. This is inconsistent with American notions of American justice. Unfortunately, in the immediate aftermath of 9/11, people were afraid, people were angry, and they were willing to sort of look the other way more than they would otherwise. But as time has passed on, they say time heals, attitudes have changed, and those old attitudes of wanting to establish justice, wanting to be seen as a just country, those have come back into play. And so more and more over the years, you have seen protests here, you've seen political figures campaigning on the idea of providing justice to these inmates, at least giving them the opportunity to establish their innocence, if indeed they are innocent.
Professor Susan Sullivan speaking to us there from Philadelphia. Great to get your take and insight on this. Thank you so much.
Sure.